Hello, welcome to Tips on Teens. My name is Kent Toussaint, licensed marriage and family therapist, coming to you live on Facebook every noon Wednesdays to answer your parenting questions right here at Teen Therapy Center in Woodland Hills, California. Here is today's question. Hi, Kent. Hello. I am so upset about the recent mass shootings. Me too. All three of my sons love violent first-person shooter video games, and the media is saying that it is a big part of the violence we see in America today. Since you are a therapist and talk to boys and young men all the time, do you think that these video games, where it's all about killing people, are causing them to be violent? Should I stop my sons from playing these games? I agree with you about the concern about the mass shootings. Of course, the recent shootings were in Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas, where a lot of people lost their lives, unfortunately, and it deserves a lot of our respect and acknowledgement. And I think all the families connected to these horrible tragedies go through tremendous loss and pain. And it affects everyone in the whole country, because there are people who are afraid to go to school, afraid to go to the mall. Luckily, it is a small sample of the violence that we see in America, but it is a concern, and I totally get it. And I've heard a lot of ideas in the media of what's causing these issues. I'm not going to be here to tell you how to fix this problem, because I don't know how to fix the problem. But I'm going to talk to you about video games, violent video games, and my take on this. First of all, do I think violent video games are creating mass shooters? No, I do not. I have issues with video games, but that's not the issue. In fact, with all the violence in America, the media says, according to research studies, violence has been on a steady, significant decline the last 25 years. There's a big reduction in violence in America than there was back in the early 90s and before then. It's interesting enough, there's a big increase in video games since then. You can also say the same thing about teen pregnancy. Teen pregnancy is going down, and video games and social media is going up. I don't know if they're correlated, but that is a hypothesis. Now, here's the thing about violent video games, or actually video games in general. It doesn't matter if it's a first-person shooter, or it's a race car game, or any kind of game. Video games are designed to get you excited, get you pumped up and feeling really good. And it brings up all the adrenaline and the aggression that someone might have if they were playing basketball, or skateboarding, or tennis. Or you go back 20,000 years and they're hunting an antelope, or fending off a lion, right? But with those other exercises, those other activities, you're moving your body. You have all this energy in you for aggression, and you're using it to run fast, to fight off the lion, to whatever it is you're trying to do, or to play basketball. But with a video game, all you're doing is this: you're sitting down and you're getting all this adrenaline and aggression pumped up inside of you, and it's got nowhere to go. So you go to your 14-year-old, say, "Hey, it's time for dinner. Please wash your hands," and they throw their controller and say, "What are you talking about? You can't make me go now. I don't have to wash my hands." Ah! And they start screaming and yelling. You're like, "What is going on? I'm just asking you to go wash your hands." It could be because your kid has so much aggression and adrenaline from playing CSGO or whatever game he's playing that he doesn't know how to get it out, so he lashes out because you're asking him to wash his hands. But if he was just playing basketball or tennis or something like that, he probably wouldn't have the same reaction because he got all that adrenaline and aggression out. And I'm not saying the video games are bad or wrong or evil, but they may need to be tempered. They may need to have limits around those things. The video games, again, bring up a lot of energy with no outlet, as opposed to tennis or parkour or any other physical activity helps you release all that aggression, all that tension. Again, I don't think CSGO or Fortnite or any other video game is going to cause your kid to be a mass shooter. What causes a mass shooter? I don't know. I can only speak in generalities, but it's a sense of loss and hopelessness, a sense of deep personalization of others and blame of others, and I guess access to weapons. I don't know. But again, video games are not a key cause. There are many countries that play more video games per hour than America, like South Korea, Japan. There are no mass shootings in those countries. There's a lot less violence in those countries than this country. So how is that correlated? I'm not sure. But if your kids love these games, you've already introduced them, it's hard to put that genie back in the bottle. But if you want to set some limits and boundaries on that, you can do that. We've talked about that in previous episodes. If you'd like me to talk about more about that, email me again, ask me some specific questions. Love to answer them here on Tips on Teens. And if you have other questions you'd like me to answer on parenting, send us an email. tipsonteens at teentherapycenter.com, or just direct message us right here on Facebook. And we will see you next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Thanks a lot, guys. See you then. Bye-bye.